Hello and welcome to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We're going to be looking at Amazon. Here, looking at the weekly chart, it follows the same pattern as every other stock we've pretty much talked about that's in the Daily Actives recently. You peak somewhere in 2021. It's going to ride bearishly all the way down to the bottom of 2022. And we are stuck asking ourselves the question in 2023, are we bullish? So when we look at the daily here, what we can see is that essentially Amazon appears to have bottomed out somewhere in the mid 80s and has rallied now up above 100. Seems to be in a pretty strong uptrend. It really held 90. Generally, one of the old adages on Wall Street is that something that goes to 90 will almost always go to 100. As you can see, going to 90 and then bouncing back up, actually kind of filling, if you believe that this is a gap, that was very positive to see by Amazon in this chart. So we can look at the daily sentiment indicator here. What we can see essentially is that it's around 50% bullishness. This indicator will show you the percent of bullishness and bearishness in price action over the past 3 to 7 days. So right now what we're seeing is essentially bullishness and bearishness are essentially equal, I think perfectly right now. And that might be one of the first times I've ever actually seen it be near perfect. Well, 49.8 bullishness, so not necessarily perfect at 49.99. But what we do see is that Amazon doesn't have a bearish bias. So you could see at least the move that we're seeing right now in terms of the daily chart where it's moving up above 100 continue very easily. We look at the weekly sentiment, it looks to be getting better. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say that the sentiment through the end of last week at 49% seems to be the highest sentiment that I've seen. I mean, maybe in almost a year, to be honest. I mean, what we see here, that's bullish sentiment beyond what we've seen in the past year in Amazon if we're looking on a weekly basis. We can look at the volume. We've seen a humongous spike in volume, obviously going into 2022. It looks like it may be falling, which is very positive, especially if we're getting price, which is moving higher. You want to see a grind higher. That could be a nice look depending on what you believe about retail and Amazon and all of their different businesses. Now, looking at the daily volume, we are seeing a little bit of a slight pickup. I mean, we're not back up over 100 million yet, but it does look like we're starting to get a little bit of a turn up in this moving average here. It appears gotten lower than the previous one. So we're below 50 million for the daily volume. That's kind of good if you expect the price to continue higher. Now we can see on the daily volatility here for Amazon that essentially the volatility is falling to a certain extent and the price correlation is falling. So the one difficulty of that is that if the price correlation is falling with the volatility falling, that generally means that the price is going to go up. So that is positive as long as we don't see the correlation rise while the volatility is falling. Volatility will tend to fall. It makes kind of like hills. I mean, as you can see in the past here, same thing that it does here on the weekly volatility for Amazon. It kind of makes hills. Right now, it looks like we're at the bottom of a hill. Looks like it's continued to fall. It could fall much further, could stop there and continue to grow another one. But it does look like at least that we see correlation being negative. So while correlation is going negative, or at least is negative right now, while the volatility is falling, that's generally positive right now. What we don't want to see is that volatility is going to turn up in the next few weeks here, and then correlation is still going negative. That'd be tough. Now we're going to take a look at the weekly trading range for Amazon. It looks like what we have essentially is Amazon's hitting the top of its range, or damn near. It's at $110.57 if it wants to keep going. That's a likely possibility. It would be the first time that it's really hit the top of its range or even gotten near since the middle of 2021, November of 2021. Kind of a bullish signal, to be honest, based on what I'm seeing. I mean, we could go all the way back down to $79, and that'd be very reasonable in the probability range, but I would expect that this range is going to tighten up as that volatility continues to fall. If it really falls, like it'll get tight like we saw here in the middle of 2021. If I scroll back up to the middle of 2021, you can see that volatility was generally very low. I mean, even just generally very low. And if we're looking at the beginning of January 2021, we'd be looking right in here. So volatility is falling aggressively. Volatility falls very aggressively down to lows that we didn't see until we hit the volatility at the very beginning of 2022, and that was the low, and that was the beginning of a big volatility breakout in Amazon. So we could see volatility fall, the range could tighten up. If we do get an expansion of volatility, we'd actually hope that it's going to be bullish as opposed to bearish. Last time it was bearish. You see the big breakout in volatility coincided with Amazon falling all the way down from nearly 200 down to 100. We want to see that, but in the opposite way now, potentially bullish. And then the Amazon daily trade range. It looks good. I mean, I'm not long, I'm not short. I kind of feel like I should get long a little bit. I feel like I should buy some Amazon. I mean, it just seems like a good move momentum-wise and technically. I have no idea how their business is doing. I don't read a balance sheet. I honestly don't have time to pay attention to the market, so price is the only thing that I can use. This seems like a decent trade from just a technical setup. Let's look at the raw data because I want to see where it's come from and what it's been doing, essentially. So here, looking at Amazon, one of the things you'll highlight is that right away we see across at least the 1 day, 5 day, well, specifically the 15 day and the 1 month and the 3 month, we see a positive rolling return. So These are all green right now, which is good to see. I do have my proprietary own like go long signals. When we look at the breakdown overall, Amazon looks like something you might want to buy. I'd say when the price is in the green, which is when it's in the middle of its range, that's when you actually want to buy it if you believe that the price is going to continue to rise. We'll see what happens. Volatility is really going to tell the secret of Amazon, but just tell me what you think. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like the stock? Do you hate the stock? Do I sound like an idiot? Is this even good commentary? You let me know in the comments below. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Would you be interested in learning how to build this exact same model right in front of you in the next 90 minutes? I teach you exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you the conditional formatting. I'm going to show you how to get the data for free. I'm going to show you how to set up your actual columns. And I'm going to show you how to use this to be able to look at any stock you want to with just a type of your fingers. And you don't have to pay for a dime of the data. All you have to do is put in a little bit of your own time to build a tool that you'll have for the rest of your trading career. At the Bootleg Macro Model Building course for all traders, you're never going to have to pay for another service again. You're going to finally be able to create your own analysis. You're going to be able to understand your own independent view of the market without having to rely on charts or indicators that everyone else is using. I'm going to teach you how to build something that is so personalized to your trading style. It'll fit you like a glove and you'll see the market in a whole new way. Learn how to build your own model and take back control of your trading tools. Make yourself a better trader by investing in the tools you trade with.